Today on the channel, we get Ultimate once again with the Super 7 Ultimate Series 2, Brian Myers.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Super 7 Ultimate Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, unboxing and review. And today we got the most professional of all wrestlers. We got Brian Myers. But for all your Brian Myers needs and a whole lot more, make sure you're hitting up Big Bad Toy Store. Use the link in the description down below. And of course, you can also go to the Super 7 website, put in code KyleP at checkout to support the channel. Appreciate all the support out there. But of course, Super 7 Ultimate's no stranger to the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. Matt Cardona and Brian Myers, as we're back with Series 2. We got Matt Cardona and Brian Myers, of course, in Series 1 and Series 2. But this time, some things have changed. Took a heck of a long time to get this figure. It took about 2 years, if not even a little bit more than that. So, long wait there. But the big thing about this one, the big conspiracy, no, I won't do it. But the big conspiracy about this one, $75 price point. Now, Matt Cardona, they said, hey, it's the extra paint apps on the figure, really knocking that price point up. I don't know. Seems pretty wild to me to go $20, $25 more on that. It is what it is, though. You got to vote with your wallet, and people did vote with their wallet on both these figures, as less than 1,000 of this Brian Myers were made. But the hard part about this Brian Myers is it doesn't have quite the detail of Cardona, but still had the $75 price point. I guess they said, hey, we'll link them together. We'll share some of the costs between the two. For whatever reason, Brian, unfortunately, had to be $75. So I do think Matt Cardona should pay him the difference to even up the salary between those two figures. That's what I would say there, because there were more Matt Cardona figures made than Brian Myers. But this figure still does look pretty good, and we're going to compare it to his first one as well, so stay tuned to that later on in this very video. But of course, we're going to do this video like we do all the other videos on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. So without further ado, see what old Brian Myers is up to. And I should say, we got the slipcase cover on this one as well, as we usually do see with these. We don't see it anymore from Super 7, but we have from both sets of the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast figures. I am here for that. At least there was a little uniformity here, unlike the Thundercats and Turtles that we're seeing now. We do get that championship belt around the corner. You get that lightning. Looking very good. Looking, dare I say, most professional packaging is what it looks like to me. But we do get the ring ropes around the packaging here. Big bubble window there for Matt, how about Brian? Brian to sign on this one. Scratch that figure itch across the top. Looking very good. Brian Myers, Major Wrestling Figure Podcast down there. Nothing fun on the side. Nothing fun on the side. And then on the back, you got that cool Brian Myers logo. Always love that logo up there. Then you got a little blurb. Let's see what it says about our old friend, Brian Myers. Wrestling has its share of technicians, grapplers, and high flyers, but it has only one most professional wrestler, Brian Myers. From wrestling icons for championships to training the next generation of wrestlers at his Create a Pro Wrestling Academy, this major player executes everything with pinpoint precision, so watch your head or you just might lose it to a roster cut from the most professional wrestler. So Brian Myers coming in extra hot here. Ages 14 and up on this one. Mark Summers, 13-year-olds. If you see any milling around here, you get rid of them. Shout out to Mark Summers, Double Dare fame. See you later, goodbye. Double Dare fame, of course, on the couch at all times here, most of the time, as we do know. But there's old Brian Myers in the plastic prison. Going to take this offline, get him out of the package, and we'll be back talking all things Brian Myers. All right, we got Brian Myers out of the packaging. Let's dive in, and let's start off with the hands, like we did with Matt Cardona as well. And we're going to start with the old middle finger hand. It's not just for Matt Cardona's anymore. Brian Myers also has the middle finger. So you can give him the finger if you want to there. And you actually got two middle fingers here. So you can flip the double bird if he wants to. Brian going all out on the birds here today. We got two Brian Myers Fists of Fury here. We got some punches and bunches right there. And then we do got two kind of open splayed out hands as well. All these hands taped up like a mummy. Even got the finger tape on each finger. So we're locked and loaded in the hand department here for Brian Myers. But now we're going to dive into some of these other accessories. We do get a steel chair, very interesting. It is a Major Wrestling Figure Podcast steel chair here. in black, folds up just like a normal steel chair. Very nice, good, can work with your Mattels, can work with anything else you want it to there. We do get that mask covering here. We saw that before in his prior version of the Ultimates line. Now we get it this time in a nice gray. You got the Myers logo right in the front. It's his COVID mask. He's still representing COVID after all these years. After all these years, he's still getting after it. And then, of course, you get the hoodie that goes onto his coat. You can have the hoodie folded down, or you can have the hood up. You can choose your own hood adventure right here if you want to. Just don't put them both on at the same time. But that is kind of nice. You want the hood down, you want the hood up. All kinds of personality for Brian Myers if you want to. And then we dive into the figure itself here. We're going to start with the heads here and run through those real quick. First one here is interesting. You got the hair slicked back. Reddish kind of hair with a little bit of black in there. The red beard. Big open mouth. Got his tongue showing. Got the teeth there. It looks close enough to Brian Myers. Close enough to be dangerous. I think the eyes are a little too close together, though. It almost gives him kind of a bird-like appearance there. Blue eyes looking good, but not totally sold on that head. And that is slicked back. Then you get a regular, more hair down look here, but it's a more stoic one. Looks like he's biting on his top lip, or his bottom lip there. No, top lip. Looks like he's biting on his top lip. You got the blue eyes once again. You got the beard. You got the hair back, but a very stoic looking Brian Myers on this one. And then the third and final head is the man bun hair right here. And honestly, this one looks the most like Brian Myers to me. I mean, they're all close enough to be dangerous, but I think this is the best of the three. The man bun hair. Stoic once again. You got the brown, of course, in the beard, the reddish color. Looking good. So 3 heads for Brian Myers. Truly choose your own head adventure here. And then we dive into the figure itself. Not as tan as Matt Cardona, and I guess that is true to life, as we do know as well. He's got the big over vest over the top. You got the Myers logo, a couple different Myers logos. Most professional wrestler, Brian Myers. And then you got that classic one on the back there on the vest. It's his battle vest is what this is. You get the singlet underneath there. You got a little bit of flames. You got the M's logos on the side of the thighs and the chest. You got the Brian Myers logo at the top of the gray boots here. Even some flame knee pads looking nice. You did get his daughter's tattoos on his forearm here. That looks pretty cool as well. Taped up on the wrist, and we talked about the hand tape already for I almost called Matt Cardona again. Brian Myers, getting my major players confused apparently. But looking good. It's an interesting shade to the skin tone color on this, as you do got some tan kind of highlights on there. It does look a little strange at sometimes. At afar it looks good, but if you look up close, it looks a little weird, like on the bicep for me. To each their own on that, though. Now, articulation can be very similar to other Ultimates. Arm's going to go around for us. Got a bicep cut. Single jointed elbow, very, very tight. You do get the side to side at the elbow. You do get the hands back and forth, side to side. Hands removable, of course. Head removable, back and forth, side to side, as we do know. You do get an ab crunch here. Very tight on this one. Might have to heat this bad boy up. Not much movement on mine. Your mileage may vary. Same thing with waist. My waist is frozen. Matt Cardona was the exact same way. So once again, your mileage may vary. Legs do go out and up. A little bit of articulation there. Not a ton of articulation. You do get single jointed knees side to side there. We do get the knee pads covering the knee joint. Of course, boot cut, not existent here. You do get ankles back and forth, side to side, up and down. So pretty much our usual Super 7 articulation. Holy cow, that is a very tight ab crunch on mine. Very tight. But does he fit on a Mattel ringside collectible stand? Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%, and what do you know? He fits perfectly on a stand right there. We got the old most professional wrestler himself in the Ultimates line, probably for the last time. I don't think they're making any more Matt and Brian figures. I think Matt and Brian next figures of this kind of style will be from Power Town later in 2024, so we'll stay tuned to that in the near future. But I do got his original Super 7 Ultimate. I'm not sure which one I prefer. This one looks a lot more cartoony. This one looks a little bit more realistic. Constant learning, constant improvement, anyone? I guess you could say that. And then I do have his Mattel Elite. Is this the chase gear? I always get confused. But I always like the black one a little bit more. Maybe that was just me. But we did have him from the Mattel Elite line way back in the day. And like I said, as a chase as well. So we do get that going on here. Looking pretty good. And of course, probably better bring old Matt Cardona here as well. We got Matt Cardona in the same wave. Very interesting figures here. The Tale of Two. Brian got a little shortchanged is what I feel on this one. I don't know if he feels quite $75. I'm not sure if Matt Cardona feels quite $75. But definitely he doesn't feel as deluxe as Matt Cardona, at least to me, in my opinion. But both figures good for what they are. You got to know what you're getting yourself into with these Super 7 figures and the kind of articulation and stylization with these figures. If you know that going into it, I think you will enjoy these figures. And possibly two of the rarest figures we'll ever get from Brian Myers and Matt Cardona. We'll see what happens in the future there. But there it is. Major Players Series 2. What are your guys' thoughts? Pickup, passes, long games, no games? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bells. We got videos every single day and then some. We got even more content for you, of course, over on Patreon, including early access to both YouTube channel videos. All kinds of things going on Patreon. Appreciate the support over there. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. Pick up a t-shirt. Don't forget my book, The Complete Guide to the Jakks Class Superstars series over there. Of course, at Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And then hit me up on social media. SirPaul64 on the X. The _Kyle_Peterson on Threads. And on Instagram. So for Brian Myers, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.